Artie Gigantino, and I help run these camps around the United States with the owner of the company, Rick and Val Whittier. On behalf of them, I want to welcome you for coming today, number one. Number two, it's great to see so many parents. And number three, let's have a great week. And we appreciate, I don't want to say the business that you're bringing us, but we appreciate you taking part in our camps. Now, we're going to talk here for about 20 minutes. I'm going to introduce the coaches. Coach Guarini is going to introduce the coaches. And then what we're going to do, so we're all on the same page, the parents, we're going to ask you to stay in the stands. And we're going to have the coaches and all the campers go down on the field, and I will answer any questions that you parents have about the camp. I'll give you contact numbers, etc., etc. So we will answer any questions that you do have about offense, defense. Now this camp is in its 40th year of running. They've had two owners. A guy by the name of Mike Meshkin started it a long time ago. Rick and Val bought it about 12 years ago. It is the longest running sports camp in America, and we think it's the best sports camp on all sports in the United States. We have 37 different camps around the country. We all get it done in about an 8-week period, and I'll tell you, we have a great time running these camps. We've had people, and this is an amazing statistic, there are 576 National Football League coaches on staffs in the 32 NFL teams. 275 have at one time or another either been a camper here or a coach at this camp. Over half the National Football League coaching staffs have come through the doors of this camp. This year, presently, Coach Guarini's with the Indianapolis Colts, we have 500 years of NFL coaching experience on our teaching staff in the 37 camps. 500 years. Got a couple guys that have been coaching for 30 years in the National Football League, but they think so highly of this camp and the program that we have that they are going to come and put their time and their summer in teaching the young people that come through here. Now, I've been associated with the camps on and off for about 25 years. I coached at USC, Cal, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Raiders. Okay, pretty good places. But I never would have been able to take part in being part of those programs if it wasn't for the people that I met at this football camp. It's a great place to not only meet coaches, it's a great place to meet pros, it's a great place to have relationships as campers with other people that you might keep for the rest of your life. It's an outstanding, outstanding football camp from a technique and fundamental standpoint, but it's also great from a life skills standpoint. Coach Guarini all week will discuss not just football with your kids and not just football with you, the campers. He'll talk about what it is to be a better person and what it is to be a better student and what it is to be a better human being on our earth today. Because we all know that some athletes are not good role models. But we attempt here to give you the whole gamut in terms of football instruction, but also life instruction. Now, when I was coaching this camp about 25 years ago, I always tell this story because it's very significant in terms of what this camp is all about. We were having a scrimmage, and it was a Saturday afternoon. It was the last day of camp, and I was coaching the defense. And there was a guy, he just quit the Colts. He used to be the head coach of the Colts by the name of Tony Dungy, who was a secondary coach. He was a young assistant then. I was the linebacker coach. And there's a guy by the name of George Seifert, who won 2 Super Bowls with the San Francisco 49ers. He was coaching the defensive line for us. And then on the opposite side, on the offensive side of the thing, there was a guy, a little guy, kind of a nervous little guy by the name of Mike Shanahan. He was coaching the running backs. And then there was this big guy, big old mustache, by the name of Mike Holmgren, who was coaching the quarterbacks. He won 2 Super Bowls. And then there was a guy by the name of Norv Turner, who was the Washington Redskins head coach, and right now is the head coach of the Chargers. He was coaching the tight ends. Again, I always remember that when I think of offense, defense, that day and what those guys went and what those guys accomplished. Every one of them, a National Football League head coach. 3 of them all won Super Bowls. That's the kind of caliber of people that come through this particular camp. We are not a babysitting camp. we are not a team camp. We stress and preach and teach nothing but fundamentals. Fundamental football is how you as a camper and you as a football player are going to get better. It's not all about teams. This is not a conditioning camp. Coach Guarini will cover a little bit more of that. It is a fundamental emphasis and teaching camp. Every year, in the 37 camps around the country, we hire people to be head football coaches. And we are very fortunate with some of the guys that are the head football coaches of the camp. Coach Guarini is a personnel executive for the Indianapolis Colts. He's been with the camp since 1981, and I believe this is Bobby's 15th year of being a head coach. He does an outstanding job for us, and I wouldn't say that just because he's standing here. He does an outstanding job for us of running this football camp the way we want it run from corporate office. So I'm going to introduce Coach Guarini, and he'll introduce the rest of the coaches.
Thank you. First thing, let me cover something. It's Father's Day. Players, look at your dad, find him, tell him Happy Father's Day. Tell him you love him. Dad, you can tell him back. You better give your mom some loving. Tell your mom you love her. All right, players. Players, your parents paid for you to come to this camp. That's a big thing. They paid for you to come to this camp. You will go to the position offensively and defensively that you want to play. So when I say all little linebackers, go to Coach so-and-so, you go to him if you're a linebacker. Every day you'll play an offensive position and a defensive position. You go where you want to go. You'll notice I didn't say where your dad wants you to go. I said where you want to go. Okay? I've worked these camps for a long time, but the camps are nothing without the coaching staff. I'm very lucky in that the camps, I work 2 a year. The camps that I'm working this year, I have an excellent coaching staff. I'm going to call them down. Come on down, coaches. I'll introduce you to them. And then I'll have some other stuff to say. You go down? Yeah, once I introduce you. All right, taking care of the pups and coaching the wide receivers, some DBs, is Harold Dale. Harold's at Ohio Wesleyan University. Next up, Steve Brogdon. Steve's from Schroeder High, working with QBs and some linebackers. Nick Myrick is from Marion University. Nick's coaching wideouts and DBs, I believe, right? Dan Culver is from Ohio Wesleyan University. Dan, if I'm not wrong, you're working with DBs and wideouts. Yes, sir. Okay. Paul Williams. Paul is also from Ohio Wesleyan. Paul is coaching quarterbacks and some DBs, correct? Chip Taylor is from Valparaiso University. He'll be working with running backs and DBs. Richard L. is from Marion University. Richard will be working with DBs and running backs. Len Felton is from DePaul University. Lenny's coaching running backs and linebackers. Lenny's been around a long time, a lot of different places. Known him for a long time, excellent coach. He'll see to it that your sons get what they need. Eric Oberman. Eric is from Carthage College. He's working with the O-line and D-line.